Race friends, they're back together again. Live from Daytona Beach, Florida, it's Scratch with a K. And live from Las Vegas, it's Alan Michaels. Right here, right now, on the flagship station, the WCOBM TV network. It's on Pit Road Racing.
Well, I'll be goodness gracious. We are back and live, and here we are in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good afternoon, everybody. Alan Michaels live from the WCOBM studios here in Las Vegas. We are located downtown Las Vegas in the heart of the big city, the entertainment capital, and now the sports capital of the world. On Pit Road Racing, back for its 15th season, man. Feeling good, everybody. First of all, I want to thank some people out there, man. Went through some time with health. I think everybody sort of got caught up with it. A little over a year ago, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. I had surgery taken care of, some post-operative stuff that has happened. So far, all the tests, all the x-rays, all the scans have all come back negative. I have one procedure yet still to do coming up in late March, and if that happens and comes up clear, they're going to move me into the remission stage, and then we'll go for one more year, and we'll hopefully ring that bell and be cancer-free. But I want to thank everybody that was sort of in on this deal here, that knew what was going on. We sort of kept things sort of quiet and just sort of kept things personal. There was a few people out there that that knew about this, and I do want to thank those folks for phone calls and emails. First of all, I'd like to thank my wife, lovely wife, Diane, who stood beside me here all the time, man. She helped me out. There's some tough times that we went through over this past December and January, but she was right there with me. Want to thank Mr. Gene Woods, the owner of the WCOBM and the Gene Woods Racing Experience. Gene himself had some family members deal with cancer in his past, and he was there daily with me, or a visit or a phone call or something multiple times during the day to make sure that I was doing good and all right. Also want to thank my good friend Jeff Motley out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Each week I got an email from Jeff. How you doing, buddy? You hanging in there? Are we going to see you in March? Sure enough, Jeff, we're going to be there for 5 great days of racing at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway coming up in just a couple of weeks, everybody. And then finally, my good friend Chuck Trickle right there from the Trickle Racing family. Every week I got a call from Chuck, and I just want to know how I was doing out there. So those 4 people I definitely want to thank, but I want to thank everybody out there, including my buddy down in Daytona, which we're going to get with here. Scratch with the K is going to be joining us real quickly. Let's get it started. Daytona weather for you, racing weather this weekend. Well, I just found out that 60% chance of rain in Daytona could happen and did happen just a few minutes ago, but it's supposed to be blowing out of there. They're going to have a nighttime low right around 65 degrees. For Friday, Daytona, slight chance of rain for the truck races. Daytime high is going to be about 69. You'll drop off to about 67 in the nighttime. And for Xfinity on Saturday, mostly sunny skies with a daytime high 74, nighttime low going to be driven down right around 60, 66, 68 degrees out there for you. And for the running of the 60 for the Daytona 500, 25% chance of a late afternoon shower. Could be a little muggy for the drivers, 81 degrees with a nighttime low right around 56 there. So that's what you're looking like. We'll get a real updated forecast from Scratch in just a couple of minutes, because I know he's down in the thick of it. Hey, racing around the country here, man. Everybody's getting ready to go, and I'm looking forward to this season. AMA Supercross, Monster Energy is already into round number 6, and they're going to be this weekend. They're going to be at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Flat track racing starts March 6th back down there in Daytona. Speedway motorcycle racing. Our next event here up on the West Coast is going to be April 12th at Costa Mesa. Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway not only has that asphalt track, ladies and gentlemen and race friends, he's got that circle dirt track out there. It's been running some speedway stuff down there. So really cool that Kevin Harvick's keeping up with that. Let me see. We're going Formula One racing March 16th. Australia's their kickoff for the 2025 campaign. The NHRA, it's coming down to Gainesville, Georgia, coming up on March 7th. IndyCar's back in action March 6th. They're going to be back in the Sunshine State at St. Petersburg. The NOS Energy Series, man, they're going to be rolling in Florida too. Volusia Speedway Park, March 2nd and 3rd. The late models have got a triple header this weekend at Volusia, so you want to get some dirt racing after you see some speedway stuff. And, of course, NASCAR back in action, a full series of ARCA racing at Daytona. This past week, ARCA East gets kicked off March 22nd at Five Flags Speedway. ARCA West, March 7th, you return back to Phoenix for your season opener there. And, of course, we all know this is Speed Weeks in Daytona. Tonight, the duels will be running. They ran for the pole. We'll get into that. Chase Briscoe's got that. but they'll run for the duels to set the final lineup for the 500. Then tomorrow, you've got the Fresh from Florida Farms 250 from the Daytona International Speedway. Saturday, it's the United Reynolds 300. And then Sunday, the 67th running of the Great American Race, the 2025 Daytona 500. And speaking of it, live from Daytona Beach, Florida, there he is. That's my good buddy Scratch with a K. It looks
yes, sir.
I'm looking behind you, man, and the clouds seem to be separating. Will we get some racing tonight?
I think we will. I'm not real sure. It got a little bit darker over this area right here, and I had left the track just for a little bit. And while I was gone, I guess it stormed pretty bad, and the wind was blowing, and tarps were blowing around, and the cheap 10x10s are all wadded up and blowing around, and it's not bad now. Things are kind of drying out a little bit. It looks a little cloudy around us. We'll see. I mean, like I said, in front of me, what I'm looking at, it's a little dark, but it was coming from the other way, so maybe we'll be all right. I'm hoping that we get some racing in tonight, but we've been working on this all day long, so we got the big courtyard over here. We got the turn 3 Tiki Bar, even though we're in turn 4. I mean, we know that. We also know that turn 3 Tiki Bar, if you look it up on Facebook, is spelled with 2 Ks, even though we know it's only spelled with 1 K, but I hang out with a bunch of dummies, and that's how we got there. So, but it's going to be a great time right here at Daytona International Speedway in the infield, as always. Man, what a pleasure to be back with you, Alan Michaels, man. I love you, dude. It's race season, buddy. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you this. We had some things going on here, and Gene pulled me over the other side. He goes, when things happen, rain and it pours. And he goes, I wasn't going to tell you, man, but he goes, if we could have got through about the middle of this week, I was just going to grab you, and you and I were going to jump on a plane, and we were on our way to Daytona, but things just sort of got crazy. So
you could have been right here with me right now.
I could be right there at the world famous Tiki Bar. Let me do this, Scratch. I'm going to pull you in.
Oh. You were going to pull me in, but I don't know what you said after that. I don't know what you're going to have me do, but I will tell you this. I've been coming here since 1979, as a little kid, and I've done the infield a gazillion different ways, man. And I've been doing it with these guys here at the Tiki Bar for, 25 years, maybe something like that. And, man, we have a really good time. Usually, there's a lot of people around me when we do this and stuff like that here at the Tiki Bar. But, the rain and stuff like that, people are getting ready now for the duels tonight. We expect some pretty good racing out of the duels tonight. So looking forward to that. We had truck practice today on the track for a little while. Of course, we got to watch that while we were working. This is like a full-time job setting up the Turn 3 Tiki Bar, that's for sure. Well, all right, Alan, I'll just keep on running my mouth. I don't know if you know or not, but I also now do the sports on WSBB down in New Smyrna. So I'm the sports guy for WSBB, and I cover a lot of racing when I do that as well. So.
All right, my friend, you know what? Let's take us our first quick break. When we come back, Chase Briscoe's got the pole. We'll run down to all the action, and we'll do it. Scratches in Daytona. I'm in Las Vegas.
Sir.
You're watching On Pit Road Racing, and we're back in 60 seconds, everybody.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is blood, sweat, and tears. This is the loudest party on earth. This is family and tradition. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The Pennzoil 400 returns March 14 through 16. Get your tickets now.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Downtown Las Vegas on pit road, racing back, scratch in Daytona. Me and here at Allen in Las Vegas, everybody. There it is, a quick drum.
Yeah.
I like it. Hey, scratch the number 19 to Chase Briscoe, who moved over from Stuart Haas, is now at Joe Gibbs Racing, has captured his first Daytona 500 pole, man, with a speed of 182.745. That's the first Daytona pole, the second pole at Daytona, his third pole of the career. Penske's number 2, Austin Cedric, will start on the outside road. The rest of the field is going to go for the qualifying races out there. So let's talk about it, Scratch. I've got round number 1 pretty much set up and ready to go. Tell me what you're going to think about this lineup. Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Josh Berry, Austin and Ty Dillon. Then you got Zane Smith along with Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, A.J. Allmendinger, William Byron. Your guy Martin Truex Jr. is back in the ride again. Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, J.J. Haley, Justin Allgaier, Carson Hostevar, Ross Chastain, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chandler Smith, J.J. Yaley, and oh my goodness, IndyCar sensation Julio Castroneves is locked in. What do you think about this round number 1, Scratch?
Well, it's going to be a good one. It's interesting to see the 19 on the pole with Chase Briscoe in Martin Truex Jr.'s old ride. It's actually the first pole for Toyota here at the Daytona 500. So Toyota's first pole at the Daytona 500, Chase Briscoe, first year in Martin Truex Jr.'s car. Well, I guess it's not his car, is it? But you know what I mean. So I don't know, man. That looks good. That car has always been competitive here with Martin in it. Martin Truex and Jimmy Johnson are locked in based on their qualifying speed, so that's good. But, you know, Helio Castroneves, he's locked in no matter what because of this special provisional that I'm not 100% sure about. I know there's mixed feelings here in Daytona about it. I don't like it. And I'm going to tell you, you know, sometimes we give 7-time a little bit of a hard time. But let me tell you something. If a 7-time champion in NASCAR does not have a provisional to get in the Daytona 500 and Helio Castroneves does, there is something wrong with that. That's my opinion on that.
Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. Did Julio ever run NASCAR?
Never. He won hey, don't get me wrong. His resume isn't weak. He doesn't have a weak resume. He's won Rolexes. He's won Indy 500s. His resume is not weak. But again, a 7-time NASCAR champion doesn't get a special provisional, but Helio does. And I don't look. If Helio won the Daytona 500, I'd be like, man, that was cool. Right. But giving him a provisional, you know, over a 7-time NASCAR champion is or even any champion, but you know, Johnson for sure. So I don't know, man. I don't like it.
Well, if you want to look at it this way, then if you're going to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges this way, if Jimmy deserved it because he's a 7-time, Martin Truex has got a championship underneath his belt at one time or another. So I mean, either one of those guys would deserve a
two Xfinity. Truex has 2 Xfinity championships on top of that.
That's right. Well, the remaining open drivers, 40, the number 40, Justin Allgaier, Corey LaJoie, Anthony Alfredo, Chandler Smith, B.J. McLeod, and J.J. Yaley, you're going to have to race their way in because we just learned that Truex and 7-time will make the show because of the qualifying speeds out there. So, I mean, that's just, here we go. Here we go with some crazy stuff. Daytona is here, and what's happening? Track practice was today with the Cup duels. Tomorrow, Friday, track qualifying, truck qualifying, Xfinity practice, Cup practice, and the truck race. Saturday, you've got Xfinity qualifying, one more round of Cup practice, and then the Xfinity race. And then on Sunday, it's the 67th run into the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. So you know what? I'm going to pull this up. Hold on a second, Scratch. Let me go back to this. Pull this back. You know, I want to look at number 1. The number 1 here. First of all, tight field right here. Joey Logano is up in this field. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson. This is a tough field to break. Now, here's something that I saw in here. Then you drop down. Then you got the 2 Las Vegas guys in here. Noah Gragson, who is now running for Front Row Motorsports, who got that charter off of Stuart Haas. Noah's going to go into Kevin Harvick's old number 4 number. And then Riley Herbst, who has moved over. And he's with 2311. He's going to bring in the Monster Energy along with him, and he's going to drive number 35. Those 2 guys, the Las Vegas guys, Scratch, first 2 shots out. The Las Vegas kids are in there. What do you think about that?
I love it, man. I love it. Riley Herbst, man. I'm rooting on him. I'm now that Truex. Of course, I'll root on Truex this weekend or whatever. I'm leaning towards Trackhouse because I love SVG, Ross Chastain especially. But I also have a little heart for 2311 with Bubba and Reddick, and now that they have Riley Herbst, the Vegas boy, I'm kind of favoring that. I think he might do pretty well in that car, to be honest with you. They got good equipment. Hopefully this lawsuit doesn't affect the performance of the racing.
I agree with you. And of course, we talked a little bit of this before we went. We knew this charter business was coming on. And I read an article, man. I'm going to tell you this. You and I have always been big Richard Childress fans. And Childress is not happy about this. He felt like he was forced into this thing. And of course, we know that 2311 and Front Row Motorsports filed a lawsuit. So far, the courts have kept up with them so far. So they're going to allow them to race this year, even though they don't have a charter. But once again, they do have a charter, but they don't have a charter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if I think about it, and I've done a little, not a lot of research, but I've done a little bit of research concerning this. And to be honest with you, it is, to me, a bit monopolized. And, it is their way or the highway usually, and always has been. And so hopefully whatever goes on with this lawsuit will have a resolution to where the teams, the drivers, the owners, NASCAR, and everybody works together a little bit better instead of it just being like, this is the way it is, and you got to do it this way or your ass out. So that's what I think. Hopefully the lawsuit will end up working out for everybody, because it definitely seemed like they were just like, this is the way it is, no exception, sign it. And almost everybody signed it. Except for Front Row and 2311, and they decided, hey, we're going to do something about it. Had more teams done that, I think they might be in a different situation. But here we go. There's a lawsuit. They're going to race this year with charters regardless, and we'll see. We'll obviously be monitoring that here on Pit Road Racing as well throughout the lawsuit. It's like the OJ trial for racing.
There you go. I've read, and in fact, a lot of people can clip it. You can either catch it on NASCAR, JScale, multiple sites have got it, but they did an in-depth interview with Richard Childress, and Richard just said, what else was I to do? He goes, I had sponsor commitments. I had contracts that had to be, people got to get paid. Cars have got to be built, travel, everything's got to be ready to go. So, but his whole point is he felt that he was pressured into this whole thing, and I think a lot of teams were pressured into it.
I think so too.
And we talked about this, and there's another article. Then we'll get to the round 2 of the duels here. Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR, it says, well, he's considering on opening up other manufacturers. Once again, here we go again. And I rode this pony all last year. Let the Oldsmobiles in, let the Hondas in, let them in.
Let them
in. Because, A, you're going to get your field back up to 43 cars. There's more money going to be coming in this thing. What is the big hang-up that you want to wait and decide? Let Buick, let Volkswagen, let BMW, let whoever can build a car to the spec, let them in and let them race. Am I right?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. We were just here a couple of weeks ago for the Rolex 24 here at Daytona. And, there's a lot. They're racing different classes against each other. We don't want to see that in NASCAR, but they are racing different classes, with each other. They're racing all kinds of different model cars, and it's exciting. It's a great race. It is an event here like no other. I believe, because there's big fans of, say, Honda and other manufacturers like that. I do believe that the sport would grow if you let these other manufacturers that want in. I think it'll make NASCAR more exciting. I think it'll be, I think it'll bring in a little bit more of a fandom, which is what they try to do. They try to reach out and get people that, like they were doing when they were racing out in LA, trying to get a different fan base. You want a different fan base? Get Honda in here. They got a fan base. They got a big old fan base. Get Cadillac in here. They got a fan base, and they're nice. Nice cars.
I'm going to tell you, we saw that. Hey, listen, we saw the picture of that prototype that Cadillac wants to put together for Cup racing, and I think that car is just flat out being. In fact, tonight when I get home, folks, I'm going to share that photo of what Cadillac put together. They did a couple of versions of it, one with a Mountain Dew sponsorship, another one I think with a 7-Eleven or something like that, or maybe it was a Circle K or something on it. But I mean, this thing, looking at Scratch, when you looked at the front of that car, it just looked absolutely effing mean, man. I mean, mean. And I mean, let them in. I mean, that's it. I just think three manufacturers in this thing with Ford, Chevy, and Toyota. Let's let them in. Let's let them race. You know what? That's just my thought, my theory on it. Hey, you know what? I'll go back. I'm going to pop this other one back in here, and let me pull up my tab here. So here it is, round number 2. I sort of got a little ahead of myself.
That's all right.
Once again, let me recap. Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Josh Berry, Austin and Ty Dillon, Zane Smith, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, A.J. Allmendinger, William Byron, Truex Jr., Gibbs, Reddick, Bubba Wallace, J.J. Haley, Justin Allgaier, Carson Hostafar, Chastain, Julio Castaneves, Stenhouse Jr., Chandler Smith, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Chandler Smith in the first duel. Coming up in the second duel, you're going to be on your outside pole. We're going to take it with Austin Cedric, then Joey Logano, his teammate. Denny Hamlin will team up with Christopher Bell on road number 2. Road number 3, Scratch looks sort of like this. You're going to get the two Hendrick boys together, Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman. Road number 4 is going to put Todd Gilliland and Brad Keselowski together. Road number 5's got Chris Buescher and Ryan Blaney. Road number 6 will put Noah Gragson with Daniel Suarez. Row number 7's got Riley Herbst with 7-time Jimmy Johnson right beside him. Then it's going to be SVG and Cole Custer. Then Corey LaJoie and Eric Jones. John Hunter Nemechek against Anthony Alfredo. And wrapping it up for that session will be BJ McLeod and Cody Ware. I think this second heat is going to be something to watch, Scratch. I mean, the first one, but there's a lot of loaded dice up in that second round.
Yeah, well, the second round always learns from the first round. You know, they let the first round make mistakes, or if it was me, I would rather run the second round so I get an opportunity to watch what goes on in the first round and try to learn a little something from it. But yeah, it should be exciting. All this races should be exciting. I can tell you right now, I see a lot of dry spots on the track now from where they're running them dryers. I don't know if you guys can hear the dryers running around here, but the jet dryers are going around, and it looks like the top groove is still a little bit wet. So, you know, will the weather impact the twins, the duels? You can tell how long I've been coming here. I want to call them the twins still. Twins, duels, whatever. We're here for it. I know that right here. In between 3 and 4, by the way. That's what I'm looking at, just in case. I want to be more specific. Right between 3 and 4, the top groove is still a little wet, but they're getting it dry.
So jet dryers are on the track, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
They're on the track.
And they have been since just a little bit before we went on the air.
There you go. Take us a quick break. When we come back, Scratch, let's talk about the Clash, the Cookout Clash, coming back to North Carolina to
Bowman
Gray, that historic. You're watching On Pit Road Racing. Alan Michaels live here in Las Vegas. Scratch with the K is down in Daytona. He's in the heart of the action. We'll be back with more of On Pit Road Racing right after this, everybody.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is blood, sweat, and tears. This is the loudest party on earth. This is family and tradition. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The Pennzoil 400 returns March 14 through 16. Get your tickets now.
Jerry B. here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Out there for you. Wednesday, actually Thursday afternoon right here. We're at just about 24 minutes after the hour here in Las Vegas and back in Daytona Beach. Alan Michaels here, Scratch down in Daytona. He's sitting right in the middle of Turn 3 at the Turn 3 Tiki Bar, the world-famous Tiki Bar. Scratch, how many years has the Tiki Bar been down in Daytona, buddy?
Oh, you know what? Specifically, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to get you somebody. We're going to find out. Tell Glenn to come up here a minute. I'm going to find out exactly how long. It's been a while because I've been going with these guys for about, at least, like I said, at least 20, 25 years. But I'm gonna get you somebody from the Tiki Bar. And we're going to, I mean, I'm from the Tiki Bar, but we're going to get you. We might. There's no telling. We're going to try, though. But yeah, about 20, 25 years. Oh, yeah. Right here. Come here a minute. All right. This is Glenn Rojas right here. All right.
Are you glad? How you doing, buddy?
How's it going?
All right.
You can't hear him here. All right. The question, I'm gonna repeat what he says since you don't have headphones on. All right. The question is, how long has the Tiki Bar been there?
Oh my God. Well, I've been doing it for probably 16 years, so much longer than that. It just got bigger and bigger throughout the years.
It did, man. So we have a pretty good time down here, though, don't we?
Without, absolutely, without a doubt. It's a blast. I look forward to it for every year.
Yeah, we probably came honestly before Glenn joined us and started coming with us. Man, I've probably been with these guys probably 5 years before that. So and he's been coming 16, so that's about 21 years. So that sounds about right. Yep. I needed your help doing the math. I'm not very good at math, Glenn.
No problem at all. That's my favorite subject.
All right, we like to call Glenn Juan Pablo Montoya, by the way. All right, get your ass out of here.
Yeah, man. Now, one other question. Now, I've been to Daytona several times. Now, is there really a Tiki Bar there?
Yeah, right here.
No, I mean, is there really a real Tiki Bar besides the Tiki Bar that goes to the track?
No, we built this here. Look.
So this is the only Tiki Bar in Daytona.
It's the only Tiki Bar in the infield.
All right.
In Daytona.
I was just wondering if they had another establishment. I remember the Boot Hill Saloon. I remember all those places down there.
This Tiki Bar isn't legit. This is just a bunch of my buddies come up with a bunch of plywood and 3 U-Hauls. So there's 3 U-Hauls back here. All right.
Okay.
They build the Tiki Bar off of the 3 U-Hauls. On top of the 3 U-Hauls is our platform. Man, we could put 70 people up there. All right. Now, next to the Tiki Bar over there is my spot. All right. I mean, it's all our spot, but that's my spot over there. And I go over there and you can see it now over there with the fence around it made out of pallets. And we have a big old courtyard up here in the front with lights over top of it. And my enclosed trailer I camp in back there. That's the experience we do here, man. Some of my boys are over here in tents. Some of them are over there in tents. Some of them are idiots, as I mentioned. Yeah, man, they come out here and just build this Tiki Bar, and I get a bunch of pallets out of the garbage and show up and build the fence around it. We got a courtyard, big old Tiki Bar, and a huge platform to stand on right here where we got a good view of at least this end of the track. But we got an 85-inch TV, too, so we just set that up, and we can watch the rest of the race. We got the best seats in town right here.
There you go. Well, last weekend, actually 2 weekends ago, man, the Clash, which was at the LA Coliseum for years, and 3 or 4 years they had it out there. And while he's taking that drink there, we'll let him do that. And I'm going to tell you, I was so happy to see this thing get back to where I have got sick and tired of seeing NASCAR trying to run in places by baseball stadiums and football and all this, but at a legitimate. Now, granted, Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem also hosts Winston-Salem State University. But before it hosted a college football game there, it was a racetrack. And they brought it back to a racetrack, a little quarter-mile Scratch. I'm going to tell you, I spent so many Saturday nights out of the years that I lived in Winston-Salem over there, and it was good to see some local guys. Tim Brown got into that race over there for us. Some local guys got into it, man. And what a show. And I'm going to tell you, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace. Then you had Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, SVG had a pretty good run. Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece, Bell, Josh Berry, Todd Gilliland, Kyle Busch not having a good run there at Bowman Gray at all. But, man, just finished it up looking really, really good there. What a great race. The cookout.
So, yeah, you were a fan, yeah?
Oh,
you were a fan of it. Yeah, me too.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Me too. I did too.
Great. And
I did too. You know, I still wish we still had it here. I wish we still had it here. But let me tell you, we got enough racing here. We got a lot of racing this week. ARCA, we got Xfinity, we got trucks, we got the Cup, we got duels. You know what I mean? It's great. But I do wish we still had it here. But let me tell you, that was awesome. And it's great to go back to somewhere where they hadn't been since, 1971, I think it was?
Yeah, man. It's been years.
It was, man, I thought it was phenomenal.
I think it was a really good show. I think they're going back next year, and the talk of it is possibly the year after that, taking this show down to Hickory Motor Speedway, which I don't know if you realize, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. has stunk a lot of money into that. He is sort of doing what Tony Stewart did with
Eldorado.
Eldora, and also what Kevin Harvick did out here on the West Coast at Kern County Speedway. What a great facility. Kevin and his partners are dumping a ton of money into this thing. They not only got stock car racing, they got speedway motorcycle racing there. So they're really bringing it up, which I think is going to be a great thing, because we just found out that Irwindale, California Speedway, the great local track down there, is done. The property has been sold. They will not race there anymore. So I think that's going to be another great venue that Kevin Harvick did exactly what Tony Stewart did. He went into that establishment, stuck a bunch of money into it, amped it up, revamped it up, and made it something special. And I think that's what's going to happen there. But as far as the Clash goes, what a great setup, great town. Been there several times. The old Winston Museum was just now is closed, but was just right down the street. And there's a great little hot dog truck called Pluman's Hot Dogs. When we used to go to the track, we would stop there and get a box. I'm talking a whole box of foot-long hot dogs, man.
You're making me hungry right now.
I'm telling you, that was just something great.
All this work we did today is made me hungry, and now you're going to sit there and talk about some good racing hot dogs while I'm at the track. I'm going to have to get somebody to cook me up something here in a minute. But, yeah, man, I thought I loved it. I loved it. I loved the history of it. They turned the lights on. Let there be light at the Tiki Bar. But, yeah, so I don't have any issue with it. I love that they're doing these things at classic tracks, and the track's got to love it too, because they bring some money in there, they clean it up, they straighten it up, they get these tracks ready to run. I definitely those ones at the Coliseum in LA, I enjoyed those too, but I'm a race fan, man. I liked it, but honestly, it belongs in places like here and taking it to these speedway like Bowman Gray. Like that's amazing. I really thought it was good. I thought the racing was really good. I thought the bumping and banging and shoving and attitude and all that stuff was great. I really did. But I race enduro cars, so it's like full contact racing. So I guess I'm a fan of it.
I thought I think it was great competition. I think it was great for this for the city of Winston-Salem, the Forsyth County over there, to bring back NASCAR, which had not been there since the very late 60s, early 70s. That track was one of the original. When Bill France put NASCAR together, that was one of the original. There wasn't Darlington back then. There wasn't a lot of the tracks that they have now. And I'll tell you another Hickory, I'd like to see it go to Hickory. And I'll tell you another place I'd like to see the Clash go to. I'd like to see it get back to Daytona in its original format. Because now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Clash was set up strictly for pole winners, correct?
Yes. It was. Back in the day, the Clash was anybody who got a Busch pole the year before. And I mean, there might have been some other little provisionals, of course, because how NASCAR likes their provisionals. But it was whoever got a Busch Pole award the year before came here, ran the Clash. ARCA race ran first. Busch Clash ran right after it. It was awesome.
I'll tell you another track. In fact, they're reopening it. They've got it revamped up. They're ready to go. They're going to take the trucks. They're going to take the Xfinity Series. Hey, why not? Let's get a date back at Rockingham, man. I mean, that would be a great place to see the Clash at. That. Oh man, the Rock at Rockingham, North Carolina, man. That should be the.
I miss Rockingham. I used to love Rockingham back in the day, especially when I was a Rusty Wallace fan. He won there a lot.
Yep, he sure did. Rusty won there. He won at Martinsville, run at Richmond a lot, run at Bristol a lot.
Yep.
And he hit a couple of good times up in Michigan and up in Fontana too. But some great racing there, great racing at Bowman Gray. It was a good event that they put on together there. And I just hope that they continue to do more things like that. I heard one or two of the drivers say, well, why don't we take it to Europe? No.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
I'm going to tell you.
Don't be like the NFL.
No. I'm going to tell you, Scott, I met a lot of F1 fans here this year. A lot of them came downtown here at Gene Woods Racing Experience. And I'm going to tell you, Europeans don't care for the stock car racing. They don't want us over there. I mean, they're a little bit itchy about coming here, a little itchy, but that racing over there and this racing is totally different. And they don't want it. Yeah. They do not want it over there. The Formula One stuff is their thing. Rally racing and that is their thing over there. They just don't want it. Thoughts about it going overseas?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see NASCAR go overseas at all. But I will tell you, unlike people from overseas, if they put a number on it and they paint it and it goes fast, I like it. So that's just me on that. But they don't need to go over there. I would imagine that's expensive to try to get NASCAR teams to Europe.
Well, remember a couple of years ago, right before Dale Sr. passed away, they did that race over in Japan at Motegi or somewhere over in there. And that's just like them guys bringing that stuff over. It's all got to be boxed up and crated and put on air transport machines and planes and things. So I don't know. You started off good with the cookout at the Clash at Winston-Salem. Let's just hope this season rolls pretty good. That's my.
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? we're not too far away. I would imagine though that they're going to start a little bit late. I mean, I'll tell you right now, that top groove is still looking better up there, and they're still got the dryers out. It's still a little cloudy. I don't know if you can tell back here a little bit. But it's dark over in there. It's still dark over that way. And the wind's blowing a little bit to the southwest. So if anything's coming in, which is where it's the darkest, is up in the northeast. So, I don't know. You know what I'm not? Is a weatherman. I am not a weatherman.
I gotta work as a deal out with Al Roker. You know what I mean?
Although I'm just as good as a weatherman by going, is it going to rain today? Well, maybe. It might.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know.
I don't know. Hopefully it's already done. But yeah, like I said, the top groove's looking drier now. It's still a little dark up there, but it's not too bad. But I still would imagine the green flag would drop a little later than they anticipated.
Well, you haven't had any sprinkles or anything in the last that, and the dryers are working on the track. What do you think? About another hour, and they should have it ready?
Yeah, I would say at the most, probably another hour. Let's see. What time is it now? Yeah, we got 20. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to be that far behind. Maybe a half an hour behind. They might be a half an hour behind. That'd still be about another 45 minutes or so. But yeah, they're working hard on it. It's drying for sure. It's looking decent. It did sprinkle about 20 minutes ago. It sprinkled a little bit. And I got a little concerned, because I'm out here in the element, but that stopped. It's nice right now. The temperature's great. It feels great out here. And like I said, I don't know if they're going to be too far behind, but they will start a little bit late, I'm sure.
Well, I think you guys are scheduled for a green flag start on the first of the duels coming up in just about 28 minutes away from here. So it doesn't look like they'll get to that. But hey, let's take one more quick break, and I want to talk some news and notes with you, man. Just put this in the pocket of your mind, a little bit of thought, okay?
All right.
What do you like about this year's TV deal? Okay, because you've heard about all this and what's going on with that. And B, will Richard Childress Racing get back in line? Because they had a terrible season. We'll get Scratch's comments. We'll ask him what he thinks about all of it, and we're going to do it all right here at On Pit Road Racing. Alan in Las Vegas, Scratch in the middle at Daytona Beach. We're back right after this.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is blood, sweat, and tears. This is the loudest party on earth. This is family and tradition. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The Pennzoil 400 returns March 14 through 16. Get your tickets now.
The hour. Alan here in Las Vegas. Scratch with a K down at Daytona Beach with a quick drum beat right there. There you go, man. Well, when I left him, I asked him, I thought, first of all, what do you think of the TV deal? So here's how it's got split up, man. I don't know if you're ready for this. So we're going to go with Fox. Fox is going to cover. Then we got a little thing with TNN or TNT. Then we got Amazon Prime. Then we got NBC. Now, before we go any farther, let me tell you, I don't know if you've caught up with this, okay? So now IndyCar has moved, okay? NHRA has moved from Fox to NBC. So my theory of it is that we got 4 networks covering NASCAR. We got 2 different networks covering the NHRA, 2 different networks covering IndyCar. 1 network covers the World of Outlaws, and 1 network pretty much covers Formula One. Now, your theories and thoughts about 4 different networks, and the only thing that I'm going to keep on a thing about it is when it goes to Amazon Prime and Dale Jr. gets back on the mic, everybody better look up. So at that point, Scratch, I'm going to shut up. What do you think about the TV?
Well, it's kind of like the old days. You remember the old days? They were everywhere. They were ESPN. They were TNT. They were on whatever that country network was. I don't remember what that was. I almost said CNN. But anyway, it's like the old days where they were all over the place. The only difference is the streaming. But, of course, you got Dale Jr. over there. He should be the draw. Now, I have Amazon Prime, so I'm good. But the thing is, there's going to be some people. There's going to be people out there. There's going to be race fans. There's going to be old school race fans that don't do any of that internet, any of that streaming, any of that stuff. So, again, it's something like the old days. So I'm not super concerned with it, but I am probably a little more concerned with the I'm probably a little bit, my man right there. Oh, he was on this side. Anyway, I'd be a little more concerned probably about the Amazon Prime, although Junior's a draw. But like I said, there's a lot of old school people out there still that, they don't stream. They don't have Amazon Prime. They don't have Netflix. They don't have things like that. So, they're going to miss out on a few races, I would imagine. So I don't know. The streaming part, I'm not sure. I mean, and at the same time, I watched, the Jake Paul fight that last time, and they had all those problems against Mike Tyson. And so, streaming isn't perfect. So I don't know, man. I guess I'm more concerned about the streaming than it being on different channels. The Xfinity Series is going to be the Xfinity Series is going to be on the CW too. That's something different. So we're going to see how that goes. How the CW handles how they handle the Xfinity Series. As they have gotten into sports lately. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the TV deal. We need a TV deal.
I forgot about CW. So that's 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I forgot about the CW because they're taking a lot of, like you said, a lot of Xfinity broadcast out there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you think NBC was right or wrong in not giving Junior the money that he wanted to stay? Because I think that's
wrong. Junior's Junior. Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. They messed up. He was really good. He's Dale Jr. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I mean, Dale Jr. isn't of the greatness of a Tom Brady, for example, but I am going to compare him to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a draw because he's a 7-time Super Bowl champ. You know, Dale Jr. is a draw because he's Dale Jr. I don't see why you don't make that deal with Jr. at all. I think they messed up on that. I think Amazon, it was a good pickup for them. And again, I just expressed my opinion on the streaming part of it, but that's a good pickup for them because I think that will help the streaming. I think it will help. And again, I have Amazon Prime, so I'm looking forward to seeing Dale Jr. back in the booth doing his thing. Man, I'm speaking of Dale Jr., let me just say this real quick. So I went to the Hauler Parade the other day, Tuesday, when they had the Haulers parked across the street, and then they fired them up at 7 o'clock and brought them all in, and it was awesome. The next to the last hauler was Martin Truex Jr., but the very last hauler was the number 40 Junior Motorsports truck. And it came out, and when it pulled out, the crowd went crazy. Man, but it's a historical moment if you think about it. Dale Jr., Junior Motorsports, first Cup Series start, man. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. And we'll see how it goes, man, but it's cool. It's cool to see Junior stepping up a little bit here. And like I said, everybody loved it, man. That hauler came out, and you would have thought Junior won the damn race, and all it was the hauler coming out.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this about him. He pushed and pushed and pushed him, and of course, we know that his sister Kelly is really pretty much it's really running the show over there at Dale Earnhardt at his place. And anyhow, he fought it and fought it and fought it because he didn't want the charters, he didn't want this. And I'm going to tell you, I think he picked a good driver. He's got Justin Allgaier in the car, number 40 on it. I'm going to tell you, you better watch out. You better watch out because Junior don't go to the track with junk equipment. I'm telling you,
no.
You don't need to go with junk equipment.
No,
first of all,
it's something I'm excited to see.
Okay, the next thing I want to talk about here with this is that I believe that once these 6 or 8 races get to prime, and Junior's back on the microphone, numbers are going to go through the ceiling.
Yeah,
they're going to go through the ceiling. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, Dale Jr. is not a broadcaster. He's a race car driver, a businessman.
Yeah.
But NBC did him right for the simple reason that they let Dale Jr. be Dale Jr., okay?
Oh, yeah.
Do we all say everybody's names right all the time? No. Do we all enunciate every single syllable out of our mouths right? No. Did he? No. But what made Dale Jr. so good is they let Dale Jr. be Dale Jr. That's what made him good. And he got his excitement in it. He talked about the slide job, this, that, and everything else, right? That's what made Dale Jr. a good sports analyst. He's not a play-by-play analyst, but that's what made him really, really good, is that they let him be Dale Jr. They didn't try to turn him into something. You know, I always said this, and I think you and I talked about this a couple times. I'm nothing against Jeff Gordon, but I think what they tried to do with Jeff Gordon was that Fox tried to make Jeff Gordon a broadcaster, and Jeff Gordon is not a broadcaster. And I just think if Amazon lets Junior be Junior, look the hell out, because the numbers are going to go through the roof.
Yeah, I agree. Which they will. On Amazon Prime, I'm sure they will. We talked about this when Kevin Harvick was jumping in the booth. That you were like, if they let Kevin Harvick be Kevin Harvick, it's going to be great. Well, guess what? They do, and it's great. So that's great. And then, again, if you, you're talking about Jeff Gordon. Like, I didn't like him in the booth. But, everybody loved Darrell Waltrip. I didn't like him in the booth. That's just me, though. That's my opinion. Junior's somebody I like in the booth. Clint Boyer and Kevin Harvick, fun as hell in the booth. Clint Boyer is a riot because they let Clint Boyer be Clint Boyer. And Clint Boyer is a riot.
That's exactly right. And I don't think that Mike Joy knows how to handle those two. It's
crazy. It's so fun. It's so fun to watch. It's like you're part of their team when they were teammates. When you watch them in the booth together, it's amazing. I love watching them together.
All righty. Richard Childers Racing had a tough year last year. Really did. Tough year for RCR. And considering also the year before that, you don't want to call it his rookie season, but his first year with RCR, Kyle Busch had he came out of the hole, out of first 8-9 races, won 2 or 3 straight out of the hole. And last year, he couldn't buy a win. He couldn't buy one.
Listen, I remember you asked me the same question a year ago. And I said to you, I think they are going to be on fire. They got a year behind their belt. They're going to go out there and they're going to kick some ass. I don't know what to think this year because I felt so confident in what I said. And I am not a Kyle Busch fan. And I said that last year when you asked me the same question at the same time. And I said, man, they are going to be badass. I don't like it because I don't like Kyle Busch, but I think they're going to be great. I think that year together, I think that it was decent enough that they're going to build on it. And so when you ask me that question today, all I can tell you is I have no idea. You know why? Because I was so confident in my answer last year, and it went the completely other way. So I don't know what to think about that. You would think maybe they got their stuff together and they're all right. But, again, we'll find out how they race tonight in the duels and see what they got. But I don't know, man. I'm afraid to say anything because I'm probably going to be wrong again.
I think there's going to be some improvement along this year. I think things are going to change around a lot. And, of course, there's been a lot of swipping and swapping going on, what they call the silly season. Real quickly, scratches. Let's run over it real fast. Staying in position, Ross Chastain, Busch Beer. He's got his Moose people and all kinds of good sponsors. Ross Chastain stays with the number 1 team. Austin Cedric, he'll remain with Penske Ford, and he brings it right on. Menards is going to be his top major sponsor up on the slick that there. Austin Dillon.
They already got him an outside pole. He's on the outside pole.
Yeah, there you go, man, on the outside pole. Let me see what else we got here. Let me pop back in and let me look at this thing here. Let me see. So you think everything's going to stay fine right there? Okay, Austin Dillon. Will Austin Dillon have a better year this year? Bass Pro Shops, Richard Boswell on the box for him. What do you think about Austin Dillon's season this year, Scratch?
Well, kind of the same probably as Kyle Busch. I think it's. I think it'll be. I think one of the cars goes as the other one goes. I think either Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch both are on the money this year, or they're not, or they'll be mid-pack somewhere. So it's hard to say, man. I feel like their time is coming. You see Austin Dillon getting out there and running a little better here, a little better there all the time. I don't think it would hurt anybody's feelings to see the 3 in victory lane. Anybody can win at Daytona anyway, as I think we all know. Anybody can win at Daytona. 8 out of the last 10 drivers that have won the Daytona 500, it was their first Daytona 500 victory. So, we might be looking at another first-timer getting the victory here at Daytona this year. We'll see, though. We'll see. I'm excited to find out. Track's getting drier. That's good. Hardly see any dark streaks in it at all. So we might have some rain. Well, it won't be on time because it's almost 7:00 now, but it's definitely looking good though. Track's looking good. I just saw a little lightning over there, but that ain't here. So I'm okay. Looks like it's a few blocks away.
Did you hear me? There we go. Front Row Motorsports this year. Noah Gragsson's going into the lineup this year. Here you go. What do you think about Noah this year?
Noah Gragson?
Yeah. New team this year.
Yeah. I don't think about him much. I could think of let's put it this way. When I say I don't think about him much, I could think of about, probably 15 other drivers before I would start thinking about him.
All right. I'm not talking about winning the Daytona 500. I'm just talking about teams
just in general for the season, for even the season, or moving around.
Right.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I don't know. It wasn't like he was phenomenal or dominating anything before.
All righty.
Show me is what I'm saying. Show me.
All right. Kyle Larson stays with Hendrick Motorsports. Cliff Daniels on the box. Will Kyle have another great year this year?
I think so. You know, he just won an outlaw race right here at Volusia County Speedway a couple weekends ago or last weekend. I don't think there's a damn thing he can't win in. So I'm not. See, when you say what do you think about Noah Gragson, I'm like, not much. When you ask me what I think about Kyle Larson, I'm like, damn man, he can win it all.
All righty, let's move it on and forward. Roush Fenway Racing, Brad Keselowski's back there. Jeremy Bowen's on the box. Full load of sponsorships. Brad K, man, made it up into the playoffs. Your thought about Brad K and RFK this year?
Yeah, man, they improved significantly last year from the year before, and seem to just get better. I mean, those drivers over there are not slouches. You know, Brad K, Busher, and then they're not slouches. So I you know what? I'm gonna cautiously say I think they'll even be improved from last year and be a lot better and be more in contention this year than even last year they were. And that's saying a lot because I thought they had a very, very good year last year. So I'm going to go with it. They'll probably improve a little bit even more and do even better this year.
There you go. Moving things around, man. It's Spire Motorsports this year in the number 7 car. Justin Haley will take over, man. Spire Motorsports, of course, making a big group of that. Your thoughts about that big change? Of course, Corey LaJoie out of the car and a new driver.
I'm just not 100% Corey LaJoie was the problem over there, but you know, I mean, they're going to be a probably under mid-pack team. The whole entire team, I would imagine. I don't know that any of those. I don't know if they can finish in the top 20. I mean, we'll see. I don't know, you know, what they're bringing to the table this year that they didn't have last year. You know, like I said, Corey LaJoie versus. I mean, is there really much of a difference? I don't know.
Okay. Moving it on forward, man. We've already talked about Kyle Busch. We already know that Chase Elliott started off with a good year, man. He's still wrapped in. Alan Gustafson back up on the box for him. I think Chase is going to roll. Cadillac Racing this year. Ty Dillon, what do you think about this? I mean, you know, this is a guy that, you know, I've watched Ty race before in some different things, and he actually has. I just don't know. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the equipment, but Ty Dillon's got a new race. He's back in Cup racing. Your thoughts on that, Scratch?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. I'll tell you this: during the hauler parade, that hauler was pretty nice. So they must have a little money in there for him. I always wondered why Austin Dillon gets the ride with Grandpa and Ty Dillon does not get a ride. That always, to me, has me second guessing ability a little bit. Do you get what I'm saying? If one brother gets the ride with Grandpa and one driver doesn't get the ride with Grandpa, it does make me question the ability a little bit. But, I mean, he's proven that he can race. So we'll see how this team does, too. Again, it's a lower team, but we'll have to just see, I guess, on that one. But, again, like I said, one grandson gets a great ride, one grandson gets to bounce around ride to ride. I don't know why that is, but I guess – once again, we'll pay attention this year and maybe learn a little something more about him.
Denny Hamlin has still not captured that championship. He lost FedEx. FedEx Ground is his major partner for many, many years. In fact, I was just looking this over now, and I'm not sure how much more, but so far, Denny's got Sport Clips for 4 races, National Debt Relief for 4 races, Kings Hawaiian for 4 races. That's 4, 8, 12 races out of 36 for the points. Will and can Denny Hamlin finally break the monkey off of his back?
He couldn't do it with a sponsor. Now you expect him to do it without one? Yeah. His hauler came in with a number 11 on it and some stickers about this big of Kings Hawaiian and everybody you just named, about this big down the bottom. It looked like an independent. It looked like Martin Truex Jr.'s. Martin Truex Jr.'s was white, had a 56 on it. And the Bass Pro Shops, you know, just like some stuff. If you and me had a car, we'd be riding in here with nothing on it. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, man. He couldn't do it. I'm going to just repeat myself and leave it at that. He couldn't do it with a sponsor. I don't anticipate the villain of NASCAR being able to do it without one. So
if he doesn't win the championship this year, do you think retirement is at hand?
I don't know. I would think maybe he might move over and drive one of his own cars, maybe in some fashion. Okay. I would think I would think he would do that before he would retire, maybe.
If
But
Martin
I don't know.
If Martin Truex has a good showing at Daytona, will he run more with 2311? Your opinion?
Well, I would like to see him. You're talking about Martin Truex Jr. I would like to see Martin, right?
Correct.
I would like to see if Martin Truex Jr. runs well, which I think he will, but if he runs well here at Daytona, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. There's a lot of racers that have gone away that come back and race Daytona or race this every once in a while or whatever, and you just keep thinking, man, they're racers. They're still good. They're going to race, and they kind of let you down. So I don't know. I'd like to see them get that bug a little bit, and it's hard to be competitive and not do it. You know what I mean? If you can win, you show up to the track.
Will 2311 keep Bubba Wallace if he doesn't improve over last year? Yes or no?
Let's say he breaks even and does the same thing he did last year. I'm going to go with yes, because he seems to be one of the real cash cows there, the guy that's got the sponsorships. I mean, win, lose, or draw, Bubba Wallace has the sponsorships, the big ones. You know what I mean? Nobody's really complaining. I think they will keep him. I don't see why not. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, much like a lot of drivers in NASCAR, you know what I mean? Whether you like him or love him or whatever, everybody knows who he is. He's popular for the sport. I think he's great for the sport. That's my opinion. I think he's great for the sport. And like I said, he's the guy bringing the dollars in over there.
I'm just sitting here looking. McDonald's, Columbia Sportswear, U.S. Air Force, Lidos, and one of the casinos companies coming on board with him. And
he's got more sponsors than Denny Hamlin.
And granted that
even though Denny owns that team, part of that team, he's still got more sponsors than Denny Hamlin. So I'm just saying he's the money guy there.
Well, Bubba's got a contract through 27 right now. Now here's another one that's up on the line right here. Contract is in at the end of this year. William Byron, Hendrick Motorsports, number 24, man. Rudy Fugle on the box for him this year, man. What do you think? This could be something here, man. This could be you got to perform this year to keep your ride.
I could see that with Hendricks. Though. Hendricks is, the next big thing is coming through Hendricks. whoever that is, they got to make room for him. And if you're not up to par, then that's just the way. It's always the way it seems like Hendricks has been. Let's not forget he had Kyle Busch. Yep. But Kyle Busch was more of a problem back then. But that don't mean the kid can't drive, because that kid Kyle Busch could drive. Proven after he left even more. So I mean, he just wasn't. He just didn't fit well for whatever reason. And that could happen here too. And I could definitely see Hendricks grabbing the next big guy, the next kid coming up, the next superstar, and sticking him in that car and be like, all right, Alex, you know what I mean? Appreciate you, and it just be because they could probably put somebody better in the car, but he'll go on to be good anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Taking one last quick break. When we come back, we will get Scratch's prediction of the winner of the 67th running of the Daytona 500. We'll do it in just 30 seconds, everybody.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is blood, sweat, and tears. This is the loudest party on earth. This is family and tradition. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The Pennzoil 400 returns March 14th through 16th. Get your tickets now.
It definitely is, and it is coming up March 14th through the 16th. You can get tickets right now for the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube at LVMS.com. Give them a shout right there. They'll lock and load. And, of course, you've got Xfinity Racing on Saturday. The trucks will be there on Friday night. And then we've got 2 nights of great dirt racing over at the dirt track out there. So the 67th running of the Daytona 500 this week. Scratch, are they getting close to the duels, my friend?
I think they are, because there's just in the very top up by the wall is a little bit dark. And I'm talking about from the safer barrier about, I don't know, about a foot down. It's just a little dark up there at the top. I see a couple little streaks up there in that top groove still. But, yeah, it looks like it's about almost dry. Jet dryers still going around the track. They're making announcements. We got people in the stands now. We got idiots out here in front of the tiki bar. We got I smell something very nice too, but
Okay.
but yeah, everything's going well right now, and I think we are going to have some racing soon.
Okay. After the fire's been lit, the smoke is cleared. Who is the winner?
Literally.
Who is the winner
Yes, sir.
of the 67th running of the Daytona 500? Scratch your pick. Take it, my friend.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I think it'll be a great story. Martin Truex Jr. I'm going to pick my boy. I might be picking with my heart, but I'm going to go with that number 56 Bass Pro Shops Toyota with Martin Truex Jr. in it is going to pull off the unthinkable. And why do I say that? Because anybody can win a Daytona 500. Anybody can win a Daytona 500. Martin Truex Jr. has always been competitive. His old car is on the pole. The car he's driving is powered by Joe Gibbs, so it's almost like he never left. So I'm going Martin Truex Jr. to win the Daytona 500 this year, and I'm probably betting that with my heart.
I'm going to take a Ford. I think the Fords are going to be tough. I think they're going to be real tough.
Sure.
I'm going to take a Ford. I'm going to take the number 12 from Penske Racing.
That's a good
and
pick.
I'm thinking the former champion, Mr. Ryan Blaney, will get his first big Daytona 500 win. Right here, you got it right there. Ryan Blaney is who I got to win the 500, my friend. You've got yourself Martin Truex Jr., all righty?
You made a good pick. I picked with my heart probably. That's an easy one to pick. Ryan Blaney is an easy, one to pick there to win. And I think I went out on a limb. And, but I'm going to tell you this. That year, I don't know if I might have told you this story before. We did a race pool here that year that Trevor Bayne won.
Right.
All right. I drew Kyle Busch. I didn't want Kyle Busch. I didn't want to root on Kyle Busch. I would have felt dirty had I taken that money. So I said to somebody, will somebody please give me Trevor Bayne? Because I knew who he was. I wanted to root on Trevor Bayne. I said, somebody give me Trevor Bayne. I said, I'm going to give you Kyle Busch. Let's switch. Why wouldn't you do that? Anybody in their right mind will take Kyle Busch for Trevor Bayne. And Trevor Bayne won the Daytona 500. I won the race pool, and it was a happily ever after. So I'm giving you a happily ever after finish for the Daytona 500. Martin Truex Jr., baby.
There you go. You've got it. Scratch has got the Truex. I'll take Blaney, man. The former champion and has not had a big one yet, so we'll see what he goes. Real quickly, we've got about 30 seconds left here. Where's the Scratch and the Nutchuck Entertainment rolling to next, man?
Hey, man, you can check out my website, nutshackentertainment.com or comedyfromscratch.com. The next big thing I'm doing is I'm running the Hell on Wheels at Orlando Speed World in my Enduro car. I'm going to run the Enduro race. I'm going to run the flagpole race. And I just built also a 2000 Sierra minivan. Okay, and then I'll be racing for the first time next Saturday also in a minivan autocross, which is a motocross for minivans. So, hopefully it all goes well, man. That's what I'll be doing next, the next big thing right there. But you can find everything you need to find on me at comedyfromscratch.com.
There you go. And, of course, next week we'll talk about his little racing action over there in
Yes.
Orlando area. All right. My friend, thanks. It's good to have you back for season number 15 as we kicked it off and got it ready to grow on Pit Road Racing. Will roll each and every Thursday right here starting at 6 o'clock on the East Coast, 3 o'clock back here on the West Coast. And that coming up next week. Diane's back there. In fact, Diane is on the blower right now. We've got Derek. Derek Cope is back in NASCAR racing, man.
Yes.
He's got a brand new Xfinity team coming out.
Yes.
Our good friend Spencer Boyd is just chomping at the bit with his new Freedom Racing team. You're going to get to see him race tomorrow night.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm just telling you, we've got a bunch of people lined up. Diane's been blowing the phones up, working and rocking and rolling with it. Our good friends over at Nice Motorsports. I know you're a big watermelon fan, Ross Chastain. We've got Ross coming on the show for this year, man.
Come on, man, really?
Yeah, we're gonna we'll get the Waterman on himself. I spoke to our good folks over there at Nice Motorsports, so we're gonna get them too. Okay,
love it.
All righty, my friend, use it and sit back. You relax and enjoy your evening. Enjoy the duels. We will see you next Thursday afternoon, 6 o'clock on the West on the East Coast, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. You got it.
It's great to be back with you, my brother. I appreciate you, man. I love you. Love Diane. Everybody, man, let's go racing.
You got it. We'll get you next week. All the results from Daytona. Alan Michaels in Las Vegas, scratch with a K. Enjoy the 67th running of the Daytona 500. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Come on! What the That is awesome.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBM TV. I'm John the Announcer for On Pit Road Racing.